What is patching? Recently we made a video called Starting from Zero, Oscillations. You might remember how it started.
We're gonna start from zero.
Some people pointed out that we didn't really fully start from zero. We didn't even define our terms. There's a lot of jargon associated with synthesizers. Sometimes when I get going talking about synths, my friends look at me like I'm some sort of mad scientist. And it can be daunting because, especially with patchable and modular synthesizers, it's hard to talk about any one concept without bringing in a whole bunch of other ones at the same time. So let's go back and start from zero again. Pretend you've never seen a synthesizer before, and I'm just gonna go over a few things about the physical interface of the Zero control and the Zero coast. The interface consists of jacks, cables, knobs, touch plates, buttons, activity or LED windows. All of which is related to the concept of patching. The Zero control and Zero coast are comprised of a number of circuits that can be connected together using patch cables like a modular synth. As with a lot of music technology, this terminology of patching has its origin in telecommunications. In this case, we connect circuits together similar to the way a switchboard operator would connect customers together using telephones. In the context of synthesizers specifically, we use the word patch in a few different ways. It can be a noun or a verb. As a noun, a patch is a sound or a configuration of patch cables and knobs and the other interface in the synthesizer. You might say, cool patch, to somebody who has made a sound that you particularly like. As a verb, to patch has a couple of meanings. It means making a physical connection with a patch cable, but it's also used as a synonym for to play. So you might say, I'm gonna go patch my synthesizer for a while, in the same way you might say, I'm gonna go play the piano or play the guitar. Patching is all about connection. From the original meaning of connecting one person to another using a switchboard, up to connecting circuits together in the synthesizer that we're gonna talk about here. Let's start with jacks. Every jack is either an input or an output. In most cases on the Zero control and Zero coast, outputs have arrows pointing out of the jack, like these step gate outputs here, or these oscillator wave outputs here on the Zero coast. Well, inputs either have boxes or circles around them, or sometimes even arrows pointing into the jack. In most cases, you're going to patch an input to an output, or an output to an input. Those two directions are identical. It's pretty unusual that you would patch an input to an input or an output to an output. The stacking cables that come with the Zero control create some exceptions to this rule, but we won't go over those right now. But remember, you won't damage these instruments by patching incorrectly, so be sure to patch with curiosity and confidence. The basic idea of patching is to envision a signal coming out of an output, traveling through the patch cable, and then going in to an input, thereby causing something to happen at the destination. For example, when I press a touch plate on the Zero control, a signal is generated at the pressure CV output. We can visualize this using the LED window here. If I patch that pressure CV to the dynamics CV input, the signal generated by the touch plate is used to turn up the output level of the synthesizer, creating a note. And we can also see that the dynamics LED window lights in time with the pressure CV that is controlling it, giving us a visual indication of that connection that we've made. Knobs might be even a little simpler. We just turn the panel control in order to change a parameter. For example, the pitch knob sets the pitch of the zero coast. In many cases, knobs are paired with inputs and or outputs. The knobs of the pitch row of the zero control have an output, which we can patch to the 1 volt per octave input on the zero coast. This lets us take the pitch that we've set by the pitch knob and add to it using the knob of the current step on the zero control. Then if we use the touch plates, we can quickly switch between 8 different knob settings. Buttons can be used to turn things on and off. The slope cycle button, for example, activates the slope circuit and lets us use it to modulate the multiply circuit, which changes the timbre of the sound. There's an arrow going from the output of the slope to the input of the multiply circuit that indicates this connection is already wired even without us having to patch it. And these two circuits also have LEDs to indicate what they are doing right now. So while we modulate the multiply with the slope, those two LEDs are lighting in time with each other. Just as the pressure CV and the dynamics LED are also connected. Just as patching is about connection, synthesis generally is about creating sound by combining different components of it together. In the zero control, we have the 3 channels of pitch, strength, and time. The zero coast has a number of circuits, oscillator, overtone, multiply, etc., that can be modulated by the zero control channels and by each other. If you stay tuned to this channel, this YouTube channel, you will find additional starting from zero videos about oscillations, dynamics, and rhythm. We'll use these instruments to discuss and demonstrate how these things are different from each other, but also very related, and how the synthesizer helps to break down the barriers between them. Don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have in the comments. We're here to help. Thanks for watching.